The man who invented modern AI says your job could vanish by 2026. Not a rumor, but a global warning from Geoffrey Hinton, the Turing Award winner, who walked away from Google and millions of dollars just to tell CNN. Most people think they are safe. They are wrong. Why would the godfather of AI risk everything to sound this alarm, and why is no one listening? Geoffrey Hinton spent decades building the foundations of artificial intelligence. In 2018, he received the Turing Award, the highest honor in computer science, for his breakthroughs in neural networks. That same research now powers the most advanced AI systems in the world. For years, Hinton worked at Google, leading teams that brought these ideas into reality. But in May 2023, he made headlines by resigning from his role, a job worth over $10 million, to speak freely about the dangers he saw coming. Hinton's departure was not a publicity move. He walked away from prestige and wealth, driven by a growing sense of responsibility. In interviews, he described sleepless nights and growing fear about where AI was heading. By late 2025, his warnings had become more urgent. On December 28, 2025, Hinton appeared on CNN and said that we are going to see AI having the capabilities to replace many jobs, and that it is already able to replace jobs in call centers, but it will be able to replace many other jobs. He is not selling a book or pitching a product. Hinton's only message is a warning. The technology he helped create is accelerating beyond what most people realize. His voice carries weight not because of speculation, but because he built the very systems now threatening to outpace us. The question is no longer whether the risk is real, but whether anyone is willing to listen. AI progress does not move in a straight line. It grows by leaps, doubling in power every 7 months. This is not just a faster computer or a better search engine. It means the tasks AI can handle double in length and in complexity before most people even notice. In 2023, AI models could write a minute of code. By 2024, those same systems could tackle hour-long projects, enough to do the work of a junior developer. 7 months later, the bar rises again. By 2025 and into 2026, AI is handling entire projects that would have taken skilled engineers months to finish. Each doubling is not just an upgrade. It absorbs all the progress made before and then goes further. The math is relentless. Every time 7 months pass, AI can do as much as all previous progress combined. Most people expect steady, gradual change, but this curve does not wait. In the time it takes to watch a short video, AI gets measurably better at the work people rely on for their income. The acceleration is invisible until it is too late to catch up. That is why Hinton's warning lands so hard. The timeline is not science fiction. It is happening right now, and the next leap is always closer than it seems. The reality of AI-driven job loss is no longer a theory. In 2024, Klarna's AI assistant handled over 2 million customer conversations in just 1 month, doing the work of 700 human agents. The company's customer service workforce shrank rapidly, with many staff receiving abrupt notices and some retrained for other roles. For those left out, the transition was not just about new technology. It meant searching for a future in a field that had moved on without them. Software development, once considered a safe path, has also changed. GitHub Copilot now writes about 40% of code at companies that use it. Hiring for junior developer roles has dropped by more than half since 2023, as managers report that one skilled employee with AI support can now do the work of several. Entry-level engineers find themselves competing not just with peers, but with a tool that never tires and costs a fraction of a salary. Content moderation teams at major tech firms have been gutted. Thousands of moderators lost their jobs as AI tools took over 80% of the workload, flagging posts and filtering content with relentless speed. In legal offices, AI paralegals review documents and summarize case law in minutes. Accounting firms use AI to automate tax preparation and audits, cutting the need for assistants and bookkeepers. Medical clinics rely on AI to read X-rays, often outperforming experienced radiologists. The pattern is clear. Repeatable cognitive tasks, whether in tech, law, finance, or healthcare, are being automated away at a cost that undercuts any human wage. For workers, the impact is deeply personal. A career path that seemed secure now looks uncertain, as the list of AI-proof jobs shrinks year by year. A mid-sized tech company once needed 100 engineers to keep its software running and growing. By late 2025, that same company operated with just 20 engineers and a set of AI systems that cost less than a single executive's annual bonus. The numbers tell the story. A skilled engineer costs around $150,000 a year, including salary and benefits. An AI system doing the same work at scale runs about $50,000 annually in compute and licensing. The value produced does not shrink. Revenue stays at $100 million, but 80 jobs vanish, and the company's profit margin soars. Chief financial officers see more than a technical upgrade. They see a 97% reduction in labor costs, a line item that can be slashed without sacrificing output. The return on investment is brutal and simple. Why pay for 100 salaries when 20 people plus AI can deliver the same results, faster and with fewer mistakes? Investors reward these decisions. When Amazon announced layoffs tied to AI efficiency, its stock price jumped 10% in a single week. Every competitor took notice. Boards and executives now ask not if, but how quickly they can match these savings. This is not a gradual transition. It is a market-driven race. Each time a company cuts staff and boosts profits, the pressure mounts on others to follow. No chief executive wants to be the last to automate. The economic engine behind the rise of AI is relentless, and the logic is inescapable. Once the math works in one place, it spreads everywhere. The question shifts from whether jobs will go to how fast entire workflows can be handed over to machines. AI's reach is no longer limited to isolated tasks. By 2026, the technology crosses a line. It does not just write an email or check a document, it manages the entire workflow. What used to require a team juggling dozens of steps, the system now completes from start to finish. This leap happens because 4 breakthroughs arrive at once. First, code generation scales up, so AI can build months-long projects, not just snippets. Second, multi-step reasoning lets it plan, troubleshoot, and adapt without human help. Third, reliability surpasses most people, with fewer mistakes and faster corrections. Fourth, the cost drops to pennies on the dollar. When these 4 pillars converge, AI stops being an assistant and becomes a full replacement. Companies no longer need to split work between people and machines. In 2026, the system does it all, and that changes everything about who gets hired and who gets left behind. Assumptions about AI progress often ignore the real obstacles: shortages of computing power, bottlenecks in data, and models that still make costly mistakes. Yet even with these limits, the pace of change has already outstripped what most governments and companies can handle. Policy moves at a decade's pace. AI advances in months. Economists warn of a jobless boom, but forecasts vary wildly. Some say millions of jobs will be created alongside the ones lost. The World Economic Forum's own report expects at least 85 million jobs displaced by automation by 2025, with only slightly more created, mostly roles that demand new skills. Hinton's fear goes deeper. If policy fails to keep up, entire segments of society could be left behind. He describes a scenario where 30 to 40% unemployment becomes possible, not because the work disappears overnight, but because the safety nets and retraining programs do not arrive in time. The danger multiplies when nations and companies compete to deploy AI first. Hinton calls it a prisoner's dilemma. Everyone wants to slow down, but no one can afford to if their rivals keep pushing ahead. The risk is not just economic. It is a question of whether society can control what it is unleashing, or if, as Hinton warns, we are building something we cannot control, and we are not ready for it. AI capabilities now double in less than a year. No boardroom or policy can slow that curve. As machines absorb entire professions, adaptation becomes survival, not ambition. The only constant left is acceleration. The future won't wait for consensus, only for those who see it coming. What will you do?